Hey guys, James here with Waterford Business Solutions. And with the deadline, or standard deadline at least, for extensions or S Corp and partnership returns having just passed us on March 15th, and the upcoming deadline for extensions or submission of individual and C Corp and Schedule C tax returns on April 15th, a topic that we wanted to go ahead and cover real quick is tax relief that the IRS may provide, generally in a disaster-related situation. So we wanted to go ahead and jump into that today and talk about exactly what that is and kind of what causes this to happen, what are the different requirements, and what do we see on the back end from all of that. So join us today as we jump in there. When a major event happens, typically something like, well, honestly, let's go back to COVID in 2020. When that hit in March, the IRS went ahead and pretty much gave everyone an automatic extension until October 15th for their tax returns there. Same thing with, let's look at last year when Helene came through. They went ahead for pretty much all of Georgia, all of South Carolina, all of North Carolina, and even parts of Virginia and West Virginia. They've gone ahead and they put a extension automatic for everyone for any type of tax payments and tax filings there until May 1st of 2025 after she came through in October. Once again, in January, when the wildfires hit Southern California, they went ahead and issued an extension or a tax relief for California and certain counties in California through October 15th. So when a major event happens, typically not something localized, not just something for you, not just something for your specific town, generally it's going to be a county-wide situation, maybe even honestly multiple counties or statewide is when we see it more often, but a large situation that affects numerous taxpayers, the IRS will go ahead and issue a tax relief. Now, most of the time, like I said, this is occurring due to disaster occurrence. So it's a disaster relief due to that. The examples I mentioned, we're talking major pandemic outbreak, we're talking natural disasters, the Maui volcano eruption had stuff like this. So generally it's not going to be there was a big hurricane that isn't unusually large like we had with Helene. If we had a Category 2 hurricane hit Florida, more than likely you're not going to have this. But if for some odd reason, Kansas, who never has a hurricane, had a Category 2 or Category 3 hit, something like this may happen because the impacts and the damage there could be much more extreme. So keep that in mind there. When these disaster reliefs happen, it really depends on each and every disaster as to what's going on. There's no given time or anything like that. There's not a standard of anything going on. Helene ended up hitting in October. The tax extension there is in May. So they've really got about 7 months there. With the wildfires in California that hit in January, they've got until the middle of October. So they've got about 10 months there. So there's no standard time that is given here. It's not a situation of, oh my God, we just had a huge disaster, we're going to have an extension of 6 months. No, you are going to have to go to the IRS's website, look at irs.gov. I'm going to put the link down in the description here, and it's just tax-relief-disaster-situations, because it's a tax relief disaster situation. But literally put that in, go to their newsroom, look for that, and it will list year by year, and it'll even give you an option to get information by your state there. So go ahead, hit that big blue button that says get information by state. Generally give it 10, maybe 15 days. It's not something that generally comes out immediately. With the California stuff and everything, the mandate that came out, it took about 3 days. So don't be looking the next day. Wait maybe about a week, and you'll probably see something show up there. But go ahead and take a look there at all of the, or at that website, and it will go ahead, and if you're specifically affected, it will show you, okay, in California, the IRS announces taxpayer relief for impacted. You can click on that specific, and it will go ahead and tell you exactly who all is affected. It may be specific counties. In this particular case, they ended up doing it for the entire state of California. It's not just for specific counties. So that works. But previously, when wildfires have happened in California, they've named specific counties. So you can't rely on a fact of anything occurring where, hey, this happened, it didn't affect me, but I'm still incorporated in this situation. You have to look at this website. It's also important to understand, while generally speaking, the tax relief that's going to be given out is going to affect not only any documents you need to file, but also the payments you need to make. You really need to look at and read the specific report or the specific newsletter posted for your specific disaster. Again, using this California one as an example, it does go ahead and correlate to both any filings. So this would include technically S Corp, C Corp, personal tax filings, and it includes payments. So technically, you do not have to pay into the IRS until October 15th of 2025 for anything there. It's also going to list specifically what taxes or what relief is occurring. This may specifically be for income taxes. It could just be for S Corp, C Corp, 1040 or individual returns, things like that. But in other cases, it could also include quarterly payroll taxes, things like that. Again, if you pull up this website and you go to the specific thing, I'm looking at the one for California right now. It says specifically the October 15th, 2025 deadline applies to affected businesses for these specific taxes. So quarterly payroll taxes, partnership returns, corporation returns, and tax-exempt organization returns. It doesn't say anything, though, about individual returns on this one. So by the statement of this, you may still, as an individual, still have to do it. They've only relieved the business type of taxes here, not the individual. So it's important to go ahead and make sure that you are reading these and or talking with your accountant or CPA and getting their feedback on this. It's also important to understand that even if this relief applies to you and you take advantage of it and you file late or you pay late, if you get late filing penalties or late payment penalties, you may still get a letter for that. That could happen. You are going to need to argue that letter. So if you don't need to take advantage of this, don't take advantage of it. It's potentially going to be a lot more headache than it's worth, because you're going to potentially get a letter that you shouldn't get because the IRS knows that, but their system doesn't, thanks to having antiquated systems there. But it could end up creating a bigger mess, because now you got to go back and fight against these fees and everything that you're being charged. Not that it should be super difficult. Once you get in touch with someone there, you'll be able to say, hey, you had this specific tax relief, CA 2025-1. That's the California one for this year. You would specifically note that. The agent would be able to say, yes, they could get rid of the fees and everything. But you're still having to write into the IRS or call into the IRS. Take your time to do that. So if you've got the ability to take care of this and handle this, on an on-time basis, make sure you're doing it. And make sure you don't miss these deadlines, because if you miss these deadlines, you're going to go back into the exact same boat as if you missed anything and everything else. So we want to make sure that while these exist, you enter these with a proper understanding of exactly how it's going to affect you, and also plan on making sure that you get it handled in a timely manner and don't wait until the end. Just like a amendment isn't, hey, let's wait until the last day to file it, these tax reliefs are the same exact thing. As always, guys, thanks for joining. I hope this explains something that is kind of unusual. A lot of people don't see. It's an issue that a lot of our clients kind of bring up. They're like, hey, I heard about this. And then we have to actually explain the individual idiosyncrasies of everything here. So it's also an important thing to understand there. Please keep in mind everything that I said here about the California stuff. I'm not reading verbatim from there. I'm not giving my professional opinion. I'm just kind of quickly giving this to you as an example. And there are some things in there that may or may not be factual, just due to the fact of me giving you some examples here. This isn't a video designed to help you say, oh, this is what's going on for California specifically. If you need help with your taxes, understanding your taxes, or anything like that, at Waterford Business Solutions, we'd love to help you out. Give us a call or shoot us an email. You can call us at 864-351-0852 or email us at info@waterfordbusiness.com. Also, feel free to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel to get more information and more videos just like this. Until next time, you have a wonderful rest of your day.